we have Wells Fargo, which becomes the first major U.S. bank to move its wealth management headquarters down here to South Florida. Now, they signed a 50,000 square foot lease at One Flagler in downtown West Palm Beach for its wealth and investment management headquarters. Fitting, considering that they're trying to turn this into Wall Street South. It all makes sense. If you were wondering about some of the numbers behind Wells Fargo's wealth and investment management division, it's pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah,
$16 billion.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
revenue.
Right. Just last year alone, roughly a fifth of the entire bank. About 100 employees, mostly senior wealth executives, will relocate by the end of 2026, with the office opening in August.
I think we've heard rumors for a while that the CEO he relocated here, right? I think that's a thing. Or the president, right?
Good to be the boss.
Let's see. Wells Fargo's wealth management CEO Barry Summers relocated from New York to Florida himself, and he's bringing his senior leadership team with him. So, I mean, this is a interesting move. I mean, first off, it's a big deal. It's a big signal for West Palm, and it's a big deal for our buddy Stephen Ross here, who
of course
has been stacking his office buildings with real Fortune 100 companies, right?
Right.
This is yet another one, which is big. And it's not just, as you mentioned, it's not just this like back office move where we've seen in the past where it's like, oh, this big company's coming here and it's just like this like subsidiary or some version of it, right? This is Wells Fargo's wealth division, which on some level makes sense and it kind of fits the bill. You know, there's now 67 billionaires that own homes in Palm Beach. That's up from 43 in 2020.
Wow.
I mean, 67 billionaires in anywhere is a big freaking deal, right? I can envision or I can imagine that like a whole bunch of CEOs are hanging out and Stephen Ross was with them and then maybe he walked away and they're all like, God, this guy, all he talks about is West Palm Beach. He's always trying to get you to come down to West Palm Beach. And then
he's doing keg stands and talking about West Palm Beach. It's all he does at parties.
He's like, did you hear Barry, I think, just agreed to go to West Palm with him? What is going on down there, right? Some version of that. I can see that. I'm pretty sure he's politicking hard amongst his CEO and billionaire friends to bring people down here. Over 140 companies have relocated or expanded into Palm Beach County in the past 5 years, creating more than 13,000 direct jobs and over $1 billion in capital investment, according to the Business Development Board of Palm Beach County, BDP.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wow. Which is super interesting. So this is just yet another move. I think this is a noteworthy topic or a noteworthy company to discuss or call out that, hey, they're relocating the area. This is a big one. An Australian developer is planning to tear down a row of 1958 storefronts on Las Olas Boulevard and replace them with a 6-story office and retail building. And so you can see where this is. If you zoom out a little bit, you can kind of see like this is right before you cross over into the beach area, and it's like it's on your way from like downtown to the beach. And so if you want to do a street view of like of those office buildings or not office buildings, those storefronts, you can kind of see it's like Primo's there. All right, so it's like not bad, but it's but there's some over there that are really shoddy.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were that old, but
so like it's not a bad little area. It's kind of cool. But what they're planning to replace it with should be pretty epic. So this is Coombs Property Group, a privately held Australian firm based in Bondi Junction. They've submitted plans to build a 6-story mixed-use building at 811 East Las Olas Boulevard here in Fort Lauderdale. No parking spaces.
Oh, well, I mean, at least, and that's always my thought with a lot of these, and I think it screams to the fact that, we're getting older and slowly turning into our parents, as the progressive ads will show you. But I'm like, I get excited when I see, they're gonna add parking. They're gonna add off-site parking, which it's like, because I've been to Las Olas many times and I always have trouble parking unless it's like in the garage.
So this is they're planning on using already existing off-site spaces from the city's public parking inventory.
Oh.
So they're not really adding parking.
I misread that.
Yeah.
They were adding on.
Yeah.
Okay, well, have fun with that.
And so here's the deal, though, because they're skipping the garage, the developer avoids this like massive construction cost and keeps the footprint tight on a 1/4-acre site.
So the project is led by general partners Stephen Newman and developer Scott Kerner, with backing from investors in Manhattan and Boca Raton. Designed by Boca Raton-based HDA architects, it's an 8-story building that would replace an existing office residential structure on a 0.31-acre site. It's currently in site plan review with the city, and if approved this summer, could be completed as soon as April of 2028. Now, the Sanborn is the latest example of a broader trend reshaping the South Florida luxury landscape. You have these purpose-built private clubs designed for a new generation.
The Boca Raton Club being $100,000 membership equity buy-in, compared to some of these membership equity clubs, I mean, they're $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. I mean, there's some in South Florida that are even more.
$500,000. Yeah, I was like, I saw an article. Yeah, it was like $500,000, and I'm just staring at it going, why? Just to get in, and you're never getting it back. I mean, that's just
never. They call it a membership equity buy-in, but it's not actually equity. It's you don't like get your equity back when you sell. Like it used to be that. It used to be that.
I would have loved to have sat in on the meeting when they came up with that term.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, yeah, it sounds great.
Well,
Johnson, you get a promotion.
Well, it used to be that. And then there was like everybody systematically started to be like, well, we don't want to pay this back when they leave.
Right.
Like, no, let's not do that. Let's all vote that no one ever gets their money back. So that's the meeting I want to be in on.
Yeah.
Where like, hey, there's others like we were talking about, like Shell Bay Club in Hollandale Beach. Launched with a $1 million initiation fee that's already climbed to $1.35 million. That's a huge number. It's insane. It's insane. It's like wild. So, and Stephen Ross just announced plans for a private club on the Intercoastal in West Palm Beach. Since 2021, this is what we were just referencing, initiation fees across South Florida's luxury clubs have jumped 80 to 90%. Pre-pandemic, it was common to see a sub $100,000 initiation fee. You notice how they're calling them initiation fees now, not membership equity. So sub $100,000 was like a thing. It was okay. You could see that. Now I don't think I know of a single club that is in that territory, right? It's just like not even remotely a thing. It's interesting. I know these don't exist in other parts of the country, but welcome to the crazy wealth of South Florida, right?
Yeah.
So talk about another development project. Stiles is the developer, and they could redevelop part of Broward's shopping center. And this won't be the first attempt at this. There have been others before Stiles. Hopefully this project will get done. This is a little bit less ambitious than the previous ones. And so the hook here is one of the most recognizable shopping centers on Wilton Drive could be partially demolished to make way for 82 new apartments. Which, compared to some of the projects we've been talking about, seems underwhelming, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, to say the least. Yeah, so Fort Lauderdale-based Stiles Corp., one of South Florida's most established development firms, is proposing a partial redevelopment. So it's a partial redevelopment of the shops at Wilton Manors on a 5.4-acre retail center at 2200 and 2292 Wilton Drive. The plan calls for demolishing a vacant big box building at the rear of the property and replacing it with 2 5-story residential buildings totaling 82 apartments. The pivot here tells you 2 things, right? Stiles sees residential demand on this corridor, and they're betting that smaller, more targeted project has a better shot of getting built, which is what we were just talking about, right? So it's interesting. This location is, again, in South Florida here, in this like dense location. We could throw it on the screen if we want. There, you can there's just like more residential is positive, right? There's an overwhelming demand for this stuff, and more residential will help improve just overall housing prices.
Right. Here is an estate that is linked to Fox News' Sean Hannity. He listed it reportedly at $44.9 million. Oh, this is Manalapan. I've seen a few images of this one. It's a nice place. A trust linked to Fox News host Sean Hannity just listed a Manalapan waterfront estate, as mentioned, just under $45 million. That is roughly double what he paid for it a year ago. And now he's going double. This is one of those ocean to intracoastal estates, as mentioned, 1840 South Ocean Boulevard. It hit the market near the end of December, right before Christmas, December 23rd, fully furnished. Now, the 8-bedroom Mediterranean-style compound sits on about 2 acres with 150 feet of frontage on both the Atlantic and the intracoastal, which makes it one of the fewer than 60 properties in town offering that kind of dual waterfront access. So, Mr. Hannity's still doing pretty well for himself, and certainly with his real estate investments. This was a trust linked to Hannity's longtime financial advisor, who purchased the property for $25.95 million. That was, just in November of 2024. So Hannity is separately building out a combined oceanfront residence in nearby Palm Beach from 2 townhomes he bought for a total of $20.5 million. Now, the Manalapan listing, which is held by Vince Badea of Douglas Elliman, signals that even at the mid-tier of Manalapan's market, sellers are pricing for explosive appreciation. Now, is he going to get that for it? I don't know, but obviously he is not short on optimism when it comes to trying to sell that in a very short amount of time for a whole lot of money.
Ever heard 50 Cent comment on the Tyson mansion that he bought?
No.
He's like, if you get to the point where you look down the hallway and you're like, and it's so big and so vast, and you're like, I don't really want to go down there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what he said on camera.
Yeah.
He's like, I had to get rid of that thing. You know what I mean?
And now he lives in Delray, doesn't he?
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah.
Our buddy Jeff Greene, another billionaire,
right,
who just agreed to a $5 million penalty, like it's nothing.
Yeah, right.
If his twin towers aren't finished by the end of 2027. If you know what we're referencing here, these are the 2 towers that have sparked hot debate in downtown West Palm Beach. There was a time where
I thought they were done. I mean,
yeah,
I just assumed they were done.
They look kind of done from the outside now, fortunately. There was a time where Jeff was like, I'll leave these things in the sky. There you go. Those are but before, there was a time where he said, I'll leave these things in the sky as just skeletons and steel. He didn't have the glass in. At least the glass is in now, and so at least it looks better. But there was a moment where you're looking at this thing and you're like, if they keep fighting over this is like a terrible, right? And so there was a moment
was holding it up.
Well, he wanted to convert the office buildings to residential, right? He wanted to go all apartments, and the city was like, no, that's not what we agreed to. So let's talk about it here. So a $7 billion developer, the tallest building in Palm Beach County, 7 years of construction. It's been forever. This started before the pandemic, and it's still not complete. This sounds like a Mandarin story. Now the city of West Palm Beach is done waiting. They're done with this.
I feel like this guy kind of just fights with everybody. Like he's just bored. Like, whatever. Might get done and doesn't. $5 million. Okay, slap on the wrist. Have a nice day.
The huge national, maybe international contractor, right?
I wonder what the dispute.
And they're suing each other. Let's see. Greene fired Cast, accusing them of mismanagement and inflated billing. Cast says Greene micromanaged and caused the delays. Other subcontractors have also filed lawsuits claiming they weren't paid. So this is a complete mess. Let's see. There's more here. Greene replaced Cast with Blue Water Builders and says construction has picked up. He agreed to the $5 million penalty because he believes the project will be done within months, well before the end of 2027.
Again, doesn't it almost feel like he's like sabotaging his own project?
Maybe, who knows? Possibly. It's like usually when you get into lawsuits, it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like lawsuits aren't constructive in any way, shape, or form. It's usually ego on some level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows?
The South Florida Condo Association files for bankruptcy with over $40 million in debts. That's a lot. 55 and older community in Delray Beach just filed for bankruptcy with $43.7 million in debt. And the biggest creditor is none other than Lennar Homes, one of the largest home builders in the country. And at the center of it all is a legal fight over community amenities that has been building for years. Yeah, I'd imagine quite a few years if you've built up that big of a tab. Wow. $43 million in debt. Guys, what are we doing here?
Unreal. This is unreal. This is insane. So let's talk about it. So Palm Greens at Villas Delray, a 1,401 unit, 55 plus community. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, carrying 43 million in debt. This is I don't even know how you end up with that much. 43.7 million in liabilities for condo associations is extraordinary, right? For comparison, the Mansion Grande Association in Miami Beach, one of the more notable association bankruptcies, filed for bankruptcy roughly with $1 million in debt. So this is just like completely out of control.
Yeah.
This is happening during a statewide condo crisis. Under Chapter 11, associations keep operating while it works out a court-approved repayment plan, but residents may still face assessments, and the filings raise questions. So let's talk about this for a second. So
a 55 and up community.
Totally
Again, this isn't like young families moving in there. These.
It's 1,400 units, so there's quite a few units there. But to your point, John, it's like these properties aren't selling for like millions of dollars. It's not like people are like, this isn't big money territory, right? This is like $300,000 units.
Living on a retirement budget.
100%. So if you're living in this community, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this is going to be a black cloud, unfortunately.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? And you couldn't get out if you wanted to. Yeah. I mean, it just, oh, geez.